Right, we're just going to run through the bait that myself and Gaz have used on this session. Gaz is going to show you what he's been using first. It looks pretty similar, but it's actually not. It's quite contrasting to what I'm using, so it's got an interesting point. So over to you, Gaz.
Yeah, cool. Okay. First off, for this sort of fishing, there's a lot of small stockies and things in here, and they're ravenous. So I decided to use a sort of a mix with a load of bits and bobs and things like that, bit of hemp, bit of this, bit of that to get them going. So often for this kind of spod mix, we start with a base of hemp using the bait chili hemp, which done really well on recently. So start off with a good wedge of that in there as the base. That's going to form the base. Obviously I do a standard hemp and a party mix as well, but I'm liking the chili hemp at the moment. Then following that, some pellets as well, just some little halibut pellets in 6 and in 4mm. Get a good mix of little bits and bobs in there. So that's that. Then to that, I'm going to add about half a can of corn. You can't really go wrong with a bit of yellow in there, can you?
No.
Especially because I've been tipping the hook baits off with a bit of yellow as well.
Makes sense.
So that goes in there. And then these, again, something just done really, really well on recently. Sardines in brine, really smelly, stinky, oily. All that goes in there. So that's kind of the base. Then to move on to my boilie, I'm using the mainline, the new Grange. Obviously one of the plus points of being a field tester is you get to use the baits before they come out on the market. So we're testing the new Grange at the moment, and obviously the success of the original Grange was phenomenal. You know, it's got to be one of the best carp baits there's been, and the new Grange seems to have taken that step further as well. So I'm going to put a really good wedge of crushed bait in there. I just crush them between my fingers. I don't use the chopper. I think you get a nice little crushed, just get more smell in there, you get all the bits and bobs. Load of that in there, and also a good few handfuls of whole baits as well, just so you keep some items of food in there that's the same size as your hook bait. So a good couple of handfuls in there. And then the last little bit, which something I've been using a bit of this spring, and again just to try and do something a little bit different to what most people are doing, is using a bit of a nut mix that I make up myself, soaked for at least 24 hours and then boiled for 30 minutes to an hour, so nice and safe, really soft.
I can smell that. That smells absolutely
amazing, isn't it?
Fantastic.
All milky and creamy. So I've got peanuts, tigers and Brazils in there.
Yeah.
And then I take out, after they've sort of soaked for a couple of days, I take out a good few handfuls, stick it in a blender, mince it all up. So I'm just going to add a few handfuls of that into there as well. As you can see, that really good mix. Make sure all those sardines are crushed up. Got a really fantastic mix there. You got all sorts going on, loads of different size food items, just to keep them guessing, and also some stuff that's going to break down and just keep a bit of smell in the area as well.
You've got quite a variety in there, haven't you, Gaz?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah. Let's have a look at yours then.
Right. Well, basically, I mean, I'm primarily a boilie angler. Always use boilies. Generally, from early spring to winter, I use spod mix. I'm a man of convenience because I go on short sessions, literally two weekends a month. I'll show you what I'm using. I'm using the ever faithful multiplex boilies in 18mm. Basically, what I've got is a ready-made spod mix. It's got everything in there, all the powders, all the attractants, and pellet, just to bulk it out. So literally what I'm doing, very similar to Gaz, but I half and half. I'm using the super seed hemp, and I'll mix it half and half with the chili hemp. I find the chili hemp probably a little bit overpowering if it's just on its own. So I just mix the two together, as you can see, simple as that. We're using Richwell's Aquastim, which is a yeasty product, but it's very, very salty. I'll put in a good measure of that, probably, as you can work out, that's probably about 100ml. Mix that in, and as you can see from the colour and the smell,
the smell is really strong, isn't it?
Really, really strong.
Obviously, because it's a natural product, so it's not overpowering, is it?
You can never overload it. A lot of people use a multi-stim. Next to the mix, I'll mix in a few handfuls of multiplex 10mm. Mix those in, You don't want too many. Sometimes I put in what Gaz does with the sweet corn. As I say, our mixes are fairly similar. And then literally, you're just mixing in the cheesy tuna or the krill and crab, just to get that. You get layers through the water with this. So right the way from the surface to the bottom, and where we're fishing,
you get cloud effect with that. Aren't you?
You get cloud effect, and you get a lot of smell. And as you can smell the tuna in this and the cheese. It's very strong, very potent.
Yeah, it is.
And that is basically
It's
what.
got a nice colour to it as well.
Yeah.
Nice little red tinge to it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people use sort of a lighter coloured spod mix, which I don't particularly like. I think it's quite alarming, especially if the amount. If you ever go out in a boat, you've spotted out a lot of spod, and then you go and have a look over the top of it. It's alarming, and I think that's what would happen with the carp. So I tend to go on the darker side of the spectrum, boilie wise. And what I've been doing is sticking out the multiplex, the 18 mils, and I've put a kilo per rod because I know how many fish are in here. And you know, some guy said to us that walked around, "Oh, you should only be putting little bags out, just with sweet corn. Spod mix doesn't work." So just to prove,
wrong, haven't you?
just to prove a point, it does work. Boilies work, and lots of them. We've had a fantastic session, and that is exactly what we've used, Gaz, isn't it?
Yeah.